Have you ever felt stuck in that in between space, waiting for the next chapter of your life to begin? In this episode, I'll share what months of uncertainty have taught me about patience, trust, and finding growth while we wait. Welcome to the Live Right Now podcast with me, Allan. This is where mindfulness meets everyday life. Thanks for joining me for this reflection on living with intention. Let's talk about how we can live right now. Hello, beautiful souls. It's Allan. Welcome to the Live Right Now podcast. Today, I want to talk about the space between endings and beginnings. That uncomfortable middle ground where we're no longer who we were, but not quite yet who we're becoming. That's where I'm at right now. It's been a season of transition for me, 3 months actually, and I've been learning something profound about what it means to wait with intention, to stay present even when the path ahead isn't clear yet. I know I'm not alone in this. Maybe you're in your own waiting space too. In times like these, my Gen X brain recalls Tom Petty singing those familiar words, "The waiting is the hardest part." I mean, I tend to be a fairly patient person. But in times like these, Tom's got the right idea. I've been sitting in that space between what was and what's next for, actually more than 3 months now. Unemployment really has a way of turning the volume up on every doubt you've ever had. Every insecurity gets a megaphone. Every fear gets amplified in the quiet. Even when things are moving in the right direction, that in-between space can feel endless. I've had a couple of really good interviews, and there are a few promising opportunities on the horizon. One of them feels like it could be a really good fit. My experience lines up, their culture feels right. I can genuinely see myself growing there, and yet, there's the waiting. But here's what I'm realizing. This waiting isn't wasted time. It's not empty space. It's actually full of something I hadn't expected. This experience reminds me that uncertainty isn't the enemy we think it is. It's like looking at a vast span of water and being afraid to go in because you might drown, only to finally get the courage to step in and find it's only a few inches deep. This is the part where doubt does its best to shake you, where fear whispers all the worst case scenarios. But maybe, just maybe, uncertainty isn't the villain in our story. Maybe it's the place where creativity, courage, and clarity quietly gather until we're ready to notice them. I've been spending my time investing in myself, learning new skills, sharpening the ones I have, working on my writing, and turning these thoughts into this podcast you're listening to right now. It helps me feel like I'm not just waiting, but preparing, not just enduring, but becoming. John Lennon once said something that stuck with me since I heard it quoted in the movie The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. Everything will be all right in the end. If it's not all right, it's not the end. It's an idea I've shared with others in uncertain situations, and now I'm working hard to remember it for myself. Funny how that works, isn't it? We can offer wisdom to others so easily, but when it's our turn to need it, we have to fight to believe it. Now, I've heard more than once these past months that this may be one of the best things to ever happen to me. After all, I've seen it be true for others. Honestly, I expect it'll be true for me as well. So I want to ask you to take a moment and consider this. If you're in your own season of waiting right now, between jobs, between decisions, between chapters, what if this uncomfortable middle isn't empty? What if it's forming you, preparing you, sharpening you for what's coming? What might be gathering in your waiting space? What courage, what clarity, what new version of yourself? For me, I'm learning to trust the process, even when I can't see the outcome. I'm discovering that I can be both uncertain and okay at the same time. That waiting and growing aren't opposites, they're companions. And there's another quote that I keep thinking about right now. It's from Richard Clark. He says, "Fear screams loudest when the magic is nearest. Think about that. When fear gets deafening, when insecurity won't quiet down, maybe it's because something good is closer than we think. Sometimes the breakthrough is already in motion, and we're just catching up to it. Whatever today brings for you, remember to take things one step at a time, even if that step is simply choosing to trust. Be mindful of the blessings in every moment, even those uncomfortable ones. Embrace the possibility that's forming in the spaces between, because there is no other time, only now. And right now, I'm exactly where I need to be, and so are you. So until next time, make the most of every moment, and remember to live right now.
Thanks for being part of Live Right Now. If you like what you've heard, I encourage you to like and follow the podcast on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform, and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration today. Join the conversation on our Facebook page or email me your thoughts at the address in the show notes. I'm Allan Haw. Until next time, make the most of every moment, and remember to live right now.